Lilith has been busted having bots in Champions of Olympia. And this really solidifies the belief that a lot of people have had about bots in Rise of Kingdoms and what that really means for the game. So today we're going to be talking about bots in Rise of Kingdoms. I do have a video to show you guys here from footage of Champions of Olympia. This happened multiple times here as well in the team ranked option. You can see here there are only certain times a day that the team ranked option is available in the new Champions of Olympia. And this is really so that you can really choose if you want to do unranked just for fun to get, your daily, your weekly activity points, or if you want to, try your luck at playing, the ranked players, people that want to get further in the rankings and get these stars that you can get even further rewards as you go in the months going forward. So like I said, we're going to be talking about what happened in a couple of our matchups. We had two matchups today where we had bots that were in the game. And the reason why we know this is because if we take a look at my profile and we take a look at the team ranked section, you can see we did have, just on and off of victories and defeats. We did have a team of 5 that was playing. And if we take a look at some of these, you can see, pretty standard amount of kills and deaths. But then we get to this game. And this one does not look very natural, does it? Not just because of the amount of kills that we have, or the amount of, assisted kills or the lack of deaths that we have, but also how many deaths our enemies had, how little kills they had, and the fact that every single one of them has one of the just, like the automatic CPU profile pictures that nobody ever really uses. And so none of them are also in the same alliance, which is interesting because this is something you have to match with people. So you have to know them in order to match with them. You can't just, match with random people anymore. You have to have a set team of 5 in order to play this ranked event. And so we won that, and we thought, like, what the heck? Like, why were these people so bad? And, then we play another game. These guys were really, really good. It was a much closer matchup. And then we get to this one here. Once again, pretty normal matchup. We keep on playing, and then we get here. And this is what really, really opened our eyes. And this is the footage that I have today. So take a look at this. 49 kills and 16 assists. And first of all, I didn't get MVP, which I think is hilarious that I had 49 kills and did not get MVP. But that's not the purpose of this video. Once again, take a look at the pictures of all of these enemies. None of them are in the same alliance. These are all just random alliances. And once again, 19, 22, 18, 20 deaths for all of the enemies. They didn't even try to capture flags. They just went for their first flag and then kind of just kept on sending troops out to die. And once again, I will show you guys the footage here, and we'll kind of talk through what we're seeing and kind of why I think these are bots. But I think this scoreboard in itself really shows how these aren't real people, because losing by this much, obviously, like 3 minutes into the battle, you'd be able to tell that we won. And any rational person would be like, well, I'm not going to waste my time. I'm going to surrender. And they didn't even surrender. And, 19,000 to 500 is not a normal score, especially when they keep on sending their troops out for really no reason. So we're going to get into the footage here, and we'll kind of just walk through what we're seeing. And I'll kind of talk you guys through what we were talking about on voice here as well, with the 4 other players in this matchup on my side. So when I started recording, it crashed immediately. And so I had to get out of the game and go right back in and start recording once again. And so as you can see here, we're just like right by their zone here. And we just keep on killing their marches, and then they keep on coming out and they're going to set flags. But the thing is, once you attack them, they stop and they change to attack you instead of continuing to march. And this is really interesting because most players would not do that. Second of all, they are respawning incredibly fast, way faster than they should be. And I mean, this is just not natural gameplay. And the fact that they were just so easy to kill too, like if you look at the white normal attack numbers, they are basically like the same you would have if you had someone that literally just downloaded the game and did not have any attack whatsoever, no gear, nothing. Like commanders that were not even invested in, like, to have a second skill in. And like these are supposed to be some of the top ranked matches because once again, like we were all in the top tier gold or in the next everlasting diamond ranking. And so, we're supposed to be ranked with people about that level here as well, but they just keep on coming out. And this just does not make any sense. You can totally tell that these are bots. And once again, we can see here when we look at the total amount of points, you can see we are in the platinum ranking. And again, we can take a look at the scores, but this just does not make any rational sense whatsoever when it comes to just the total amount of points, because this is just not how normal humans play the game. And I know a lot of us have also experienced in KVK where, like, when you first enter KVK and like within 2 minutes, there's somebody that has 30,000 honor already or 50,000 honor. And we were talking about in voice how this could really be a way that Lilith, the creators of this game, are incentivizing people to spend more time in the game, and just devote more time to their game, whether it be playing, talking about it, being in the game, gathering resources, fighting, hitting barbarians, barbarian forts, all these different ways that they can get more people in the game longer, which will then incentivize them to spend more money. Because when we are talking about Rise of Kingdoms, obviously you can have, free-to-play players that are doing better. You can have people, like 12inch who, makes the most of his time playing the game, being very efficient with his time. But for the majority of players, you're not going to be able to devote enough time to be able to, bridge the gap between free-to-play and spenders. And so the longer that you spend in the game, the more likely you are to spend. And that's really the business model behind mobile games, because if you spend enough time in the game, you're going to come to realize that you need to spend more money to, get better at the game, especially in pay-to-win games like Rise of Kingdoms. But Lilith has time and time again denied that they use bots or that bots are even allowed, because they have been cracking down on botted accounts. But this could be a way that people are elevating themselves in rankings, because if they are constantly playing against people who are, playing against bots, they're going to get all these stars much faster, and they're going to elevate themselves through the rankings into these top ranked champion teams. And obviously, I'm not accusing of these people for using bots and elevating themselves higher. Obviously, you can get there on your own, but the use of these bots and the way that we won was just really interesting. And first and foremost, I'll say that we did not use bots. We, like you can see in our ranked matches, we lost more than we won here. I mean, we went 4-5, and so we played some really good teams that we just weren't able to beat. And the coordination is unmatched between people who are actually playing the game and people who you can tell are actually bots. And this is just this one thing that just really annoyed us in the game. Even though we were winning, it doesn't matter that we won. The fact that this is possible, that the code in this new Champions of Olympia game is so poor that you're able to bot with 5 different accounts in a ranked matching, which some of these matches took 15 to 20 minutes for us to even match against somebody. And the interesting thing is that the time when we got matched with these bots was pretty much simultaneously. Like, we got put in that match immediately when we finished this other one. So we finished this match, and like within a second, we were automatically matched with these bots. And this is just something that cannot happen, and something that Lilith needs to fix. And that's why I'm making this video. Not to, like call out Lilith and say that you're cheating us out of our money and out of our time, but really to hold them accountable for, the actions of letting people, set up these bots and basically create codes in the game that are allowing them to cheat and get higher in these rankings, especially in a ranked matchup like Champions of Olympia, because as we know, this is a brand new system of Champions of Olympia. They literally just came out with this, which obviously we have to have some grace with them because, this is a brand new event, but they should not have rolled it out this fast if there's going to be that much of a crack in the code that allowed people to, get botted accounts in there so easily. And one interesting thing is if we take a look at the teams that we fought here, if I go back into the profile here and we take a look at some of these players, you can't even find them. You can't even find these alliances. They just don't even exist. And that's another reason why we knew that these were botted accounts, because when you look up these players, you can totally tell that these are botted accounts. Because if we take a look here, if we take a look at some of these players, let's look up Lord Kennen here, for example. That's the easiest one to type. So Lord Kennen, we're gonna go ahead, we can go into the settings, search governor. We're gonna look up Lord Kennen. And right here, 57 million power, 0 kill points, you can see this used to be an account. It does have some kills, but this is ultimately a dead account. You know, this is not like doesn't even have his commander settings paired up. He's not in an alliance, even though he was in the you know, in the actual matchup. And if we go ahead, we can look up another person here, you know, just to prove our theory. If we go back into profile, we'll go back into here. We'll look up Dragonist on this one. So Dragonist, go back into the settings. And right here, we can see Dragonist with 244,000 power. Like this does not make any sense. How is this player getting matched with players between 80 and 100 million power? This makes no sense. And you know, it doesn't make any rational sense as to why the code is so easy to get into if people are able to, you know, get in this easily. It just doesn't make any sense as to why they are still even allowing this to happen. And not to mention just that, but the fact that a lot of people are having, you know, the game crash on them too, myself included. Like while I was even recording the video of the actual match occurring, my iPad crashed, and I have a brand new iPad. And even on my phone, if I'm just, you know, going around like setting up my gatherers, my phone will crash. My chat barely even opens anymore. And this is all after the new update. But I mean, I'm not the only one that has this issue. I know a lot of other people that have been outspoken about how their game keeps on crashing, how their chat doesn't work, it keeps glitching, it freezes. Like there's just a lot of issues going on. But I think the biggest thing that we need to be worried about here is the fact that if Champions of Olympia is able to be hacked this easily, when even just matching against real people takes between 10 and 15 minutes to even get a match, like with 5 people matched up in the ranked matchmaking, how easy is it to get bots on the field? And I'm not accusing any certain kingdoms of botting. I know that there's people that have bots for farm accounts, you know, for hitting barbarians, all that kind of stuff. I know it exists, but the fact that it's that easy and that people are able to do it in Champions of Olympia, a brand new mode with brand new code in the game, is very worrisome and something that Lilith really needs to crack down on, and something that they need to be more outspoken about when it comes to how they are going to you know, portray the game in the future. Because if you are able to bot in Champions of Olympia, I guarantee you these same people are able to bot in the open field, in rallying, in literally anything in the game if they are able to crack this easily in Champions of Olympia. If you guys have any thoughts on this, let me know down below in the comments what you guys think about bots in Rise of Kingdoms, if you think they exist, if you don't think they exist, and what you think about this video. So once again, if you guys enjoyed the video, please drop a like and subscribe. I really appreciate all of your guys' support here on YouTube. Looking forward to see you guys back in the next video, and I'll see you later.